right, folks. Welcome to part 2 of the aftermath. If you haven't seen the movie, obviously, like we said before, stop watching now. There'll be lots of spoilers. You have been warned. So the only word that comes to mind is whoa.
Yeah.
That shit was satisfying to every inch of my being.
I wasn't expecting a lot of what happened.
Right.
It was nice. It was a good movie. I liked it.
It was unpredictable, really. You could speculate all you want, but you weren't ever gonna, come up with, everything that happened.
I mean, that first 30 minutes, like we were saying on the walk back, that first 30 minutes, I was like, okay, what's going on here?
I was like,
how are they doing this?
Yeah, after not even the first 30, within the first 10 minutes, you're like, what are we gonna do?
How are we gonna address this?
What are we doing in the movie now?
Yeah, how is this gonna work?
Like, I kind of figured, I didn't see, so after they, I didn't see that 5 years later thing. I didn't see that coming. I thought maybe there'd be a small jump, or it would go back somehow, or maybe that would be the end scene, because I know movies do that sometimes where they'll show the end scene last, or a version of that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But they did that, and then they were like, oh, 5 years later. You're like, okay, well, let's see where they go with this. So, but I kind of saw the whole thing with Clint's family getting dusted. I could kind of see that coming.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure everybody,
I mean,
just from seeing his character Ronan, you kind of expected something happened to him that changed him.
Yeah. What?
This literally just came to me. You know how there's going to be a Black Widow movie,
Mm-hmm.
and obviously, Black Widow isn't in a safe spot after the end of this movie. What if her solo movie is her somehow coming back from being dead?
Yeah, because she's dead. This isn't some soul. I mean, this isn't some
Well,
dusting. This
even
is she died.
even
Yeah.
Gamora is dead.
Right.
It's just a different incarnation.
Right, and
Different Gamora now.
yeah, that's gonna be weird how they handle that, because it's not gonna be the same.
Yeah. Well,
I feel like it's just going to be they're going to go searching for her in the next Guardians movie, and it's just they're going to try to get her back, and it's just going to be her and Peter trying to get her to fall in love with him again.
So is it gonna be Guardians plus Thor now?
Yeah, that was the thing.
I like it.
That is a thing.
I love this Thor in this movie is amazing. Hulk in this movie is amazing.
Not that I didn't like it. It was just weird seeing him in clothes with glasses on.
Right, because it's Mark Ruffalo.
Yeah,
but
and he sounded a
Hulk.
little different too.
Well, because he was
But kinda, I think
he was
they mixed
half
the
Hulk,
Hulk.
half.
Yeah, and it was just you'd hear him his voice when he wasn't on screen. I'd just be like, ooh, it felt weird. It felt weird.
So I feel like everything you might have wanted from Infinity War, you feel like you can get that from that movie, or you were expecting from that movie, comes in this movie.
Well,
and you can really feel that they were shot back to back, and it was one
He even
big.
said
It was
this
supposed
is
to
what I
be.
thought Infinity War was gonna be.
Yeah, especially that final battle scene. I thought that's what we were
God,
going to
dude,
get.
was anybody else shaking during that scene
was just I couldn't-
with Captain? Oh my god,
Oh, I mean,
that I think that's probably the greatest 5-minute sequence I've ever.
was not expecting him to pick up Mjolnir.
No, or
mean,
or handle it how he did.
Yeah, not that I have any issue with it. Wasn't expecting it. We obviously know
They
he's
hinted
worthy.
it. They hinted it in Ultron.
Yeah.
And, God, that
I
was
didn't like how
satisfying.
Thor said, "I knew it."
God, that felt good. I was like,
It was-
this is and I didn't even, that wasn't in my head at all at any point during that fight that he would pick that up. I think that's why it was so good, because I saw that and I was just like, holy shit, they just did that,
Another thing I want to mention is Thanos. They kind of set him up to be I feel like a relatable villain. He wasn't a pure evil villain in Infinity War. Not that you necessarily agreed with his purging half the life in the universe.
Yeah.
But you at least understand the reasoning behind it, even though it might be flawed logic.
Yeah.
yeah, you kill half of everything, well, you still have finite resources. You
I
know,
don't know.
the galaxy would the universe would eventually like tear itself apart. And I feel like this movie, at least the 2014 Thanos, seeing himself succeed and then obviously die,
Right.
and then him talk about how whenever he destroyed other planets, it's not personal. And then he pretty much said, "Oh, I'm going to destroy Earth, and I'm going to make it personal." Like
Yeah.
I felt like that finally moved him from maybe like a gray villain to just a pure evil villain, which
Yeah.
I felt
I
like
mean,
was a good.
I'm gonna go ahead and say it. I didn't. I liked Infinity War Thanos way better. Like
Well, I
he
mean,
actually
this.
he had depth to him. Like
Well,
he
yeah,
had those gray areas, and then I feel like they just retconned him. Obviously, because of the story, they have to. But I feel like they literally undid everything from Infinity War as far as like any sort of progression. Because he never throws Gamora off the cliff. None of that stuff happens. And so
well, he
nice,
saw it all happen.
but it's not. I mean, I don't think it's the same. But that's just my opinion.
I mean, I think that makes sense because people tend to say that pure evil villains are usually the more boring villains.
Right. Which is why I like.
Well, we didn't need him to be anything but what he
Yeah,
was.
we needed him to be bad as maybe you kind of slowly rooting for him in Infinity
Well,
War.
it's like
We needed him done now.
he turned from the gray villain to the pure evil villain within that battle, right?
Right.
Because he still had all the same
I just
intentions
wish
that
they
he
hadn't
had
done that.
when he
I
had
didn't
gotten
like
that.
that. That's all I was saying.
Oh,
I didn't personally like that they made him what he was
Oh.
in this movie because I mean I just liked him a lot. I liked obviously this whole rooting for him to win. I never rooted for him to win. I just liked his character more in Infinity War. I never wanted him to win though. Obviously,
I liked how they did that because I
Yeah,
think
they handled
he's
it
supposed
well.
to be a pure evil villain, and it was kind of weird. I thought not that it was bad. It was just weird seeing him maybe like
They-
like getting the
they
oh yeah I guess that
justified
makes
him.
sense. Yeah.
In Infinity War, they justified him, and then I think they kind of played off the fact that almost everybody is watching this movie this weekend has seen Infinity War, and so they have that in their head. But you gotta remember, like this different. This is a different Thanos. He doesn't have all that stuff that you saw
Yeah.
in Infinity War. None of that happened for that guy.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Maybe I'm just an exception.
It's
I
just-
didn't prefer what they did.
It's on
Still a
such
great
a
movie.
bigger scale than like any movie, and all the events happening are just like so new and epic that I feel like I'm just in awe still and want to watch the movie again, to be honest with you, just to really get a feel for what might be something that I didn't like, or I can't even like tell. My brain is just so like in awe.
Well, it's
about-
also like 1:30 in the morning.
and it-
By the way, yeah, we're filming this at 1:30 in the morning. So if we seem very groggy, that is why.
I just
I thought like this finally felt like a comic book movie. Like they started doing absurd stuff that you see in comics. Like Iron Man was very grounded.
Oh my gosh.
Captain America got a little crazy, and I mean even Thor up until Ragnarok was still not that. I felt like insane. I felt like maybe finally actually using the quantum realm, which they used it a little bit, but not. I guess they didn't go into in depth as much as like you mentioned they would do. Like specifically looking for time fields. It was just more or less
yeah,
Yeah,
that
I-
kind of they did that really fast.
I had noticed that when they mentioned that, Tony Stark was just like, "Oh yeah, I know all about that." Okay, well, why have you never talked about it in any other movie? So they have to make some concessions. It's a movie, I understand that.
So like they got to it and it was relevant, but it was quick,
Yeah.
which made sense. And it
would've been nice
felt
to
like
see
it felt like a
him.
real comic book movie. Like it was like they were doing absurd stuff because in the actual Ultron comic, like they actually send like spoiler for that comic. They send Wolverine to like the future and the past, trying to battle Ultron in the future and past, back and forth and all that. And it was like Hank Pym, I believe, that sent him back in time.
Yeah.
So it's kind of Hank Pym tech a little bit they're
Yeah.
using. So I appreciate. I was like, oh, this kind of feels comic booky now. Like
And and I feel like in this movie they've finally gone like 100%. We're just gonna accept any crazy space and or scientific technical stuff that's going on. Like we believe it all now. Because they didn't question anything. They were like, oh, time travel? Fuck it.
Yeah, like
It's real now.
Like Professor Hulk. Like once,
Right.
like I said, it was already weird seeing him, but it was also like absurd seeing like the Hulk in this universe just walking around,
Yeah.
talking like Banner. Like
It was great.
I loved it.
It was the best. I couldn't stop laughing at him or at Thor. It was
I
just
totally thought Thor at any moment was gonna like cover himself in lightning. It'd just not be fat anymore.
That I thought
I
the
thought it
same
was totally
thing.
gonna happen. Like I kept waiting for it, like when he talked to his mom.
I thought that's when he grabbed
them.
Stormbreaker. I thought it happened.
Yeah, but like no, you
No,
see
he
his
stayed-
fat
he stayed
stomach and his
fat,
new
yeah.
that new
Well, he
suit.
cleaned his hair, but he was still fat.
Yeah.
But I guess that doesn't affect his fighting ability. I don't know.
no, he was slow. He didn't do that much.
Yeah, I thought he was a little slow.
He could have done more. He
Out of
could have broke that
practice.
ship at any moment.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, totally. I mean, I have no doubt that he could have broke that shit.
Captain America, Hail Hydra.
That was nice.
That was
nice.
I love that.
I was like, elevator scene again? Woo!
Right.
And he's just like,
That's great.
I feel like
Hail Hydra.
they really came back with the callbacks, but I guess
A lot of callbacks.
I guess you could almost akin this movie to, even though we haven't seen it yet, The Rise of Skywalker. You know, this obviously has a lot more movies in it, but Star Wars has more years in it. So they both, I feel like, they're similar in the fact that they're ending major phases and their respective franchises. So, like, I guess it wasn't that bad that we got to see the Battle of New York a little bit again.
Yeah, because people missed it. Like for some people, they haven't seen that
People
movie.
cheered. People cheered in the theater when that happened.
For
I
some
didn't know if that
people-
was a
Yeah, a
cheering
lot of clapping and
moment.
cheering.
For some
all that
people, they
stuff.
haven't seen Avengers since it came out. That was 7 years ago. So,
Yeah.
because some people just don't watch the movies that often.
Although, I'm not gonna lie, when Captain was on the ground when the shield was broke, I was kind of waiting for. I was dreading the moment when his double-handed sword or whatever.
Well,
was
even
gonna-
Thor, when he had
Double-bladed
his
sword.
own an axe on his chest, I was like, "Ooh!"
I didn't think they were gonna kill Thor. I'm pretty sure Thor
But that would've been a
has
big-
all been but confirmed.
That would have been a big surprise, though.
It
right?
would have been a big surprise.
Killed in the exact
but I
same way he was trying to kill him?
I felt he was really safe.
I felt he was pretty safe
I
too.
felt
I
he
knew
was pretty
something. I felt something coming to happen when that was. It's like something's got to happen. But actually, when Captain America was on the ground and then Thanos like punched him in the head, I didn't think he was gonna get up.
Now, once
Oh,
again,
that-
I felt
I
like
didn't
that
think he
was
was
They
gonna
brushed
get up.
that off.
Well, because he was just like they had the
But they
shot where
didn't-
he was just like he punched him in the head and he just walked away and he was just
Yeah, but
laying
they
there.
did it out of focus and they didn't even close up. They would
And
have
I was
closed up
like-
on him if he died.
I was like,
Yeah,
oh.
like that. Once again, it was like the end of the Infinity War where he had to hit him hard again
To
it was
knock
like
him out.
it was to knock him out so they could move on to a different character.
Yeah, but still, like it was something
'Cause
I
Cap got
noticed. I
that-
was like,
That super... Because
He's resilient. He's gonna get back up. So like,
it's all but confirmed that the MCU version of Captain America is superhuman, not peak human. He is superhuman.
yeah,
So, yeah.
most definitely.
To knock him out, you gotta punch him pretty hard.
Yeah.
God, what else?
there's so
I'm
much.
still-
back to Captain America again. Like, I guess they didn't kill him, but it's almost kind of like killing him. He's obviously out of the movies now, so we obviously know Captain America is not going to be returning to any more movies.
And I thought that was the perfect end.
And I think how crazy that is. You know, a scrawny kid, wanted to join the war, was made a super soldier, got to fight through pretty much the whole war, saved America and the world, frozen for 70 years, thawed out, became an Avenger for 10
Does 6-7 years of all the
of
these
being
movies.
an Avenger. Then, you know, got to do some travel in time, save the world again, stop those other realities from tearing apart, or bring back soul stones, and then just going back to 1940
And then
instead.
goes to 1940.
And then lives his whole life
Whatever.
again.
That's just a regular dude.
He deserves it.
Yeah, that's just.
It was a perfect
I
ending.
feel like that is the craziest.
I know Iron Man gets a lot more focus, but I think Captain America is like this story.
I think that's why they ended with him.
Oh, that little teenager that was at
Who was that?
That's the kid from Iron Man 3.
Didn't look like him at all.
That was the kid from Iron Man 3.
Oh.
Is that it?
Yeah.
No.
It's not the same actor.
Yeah, same
He looks
actor.
nothing like him.
Well, he's
Because
an
I'm-
adult now.
He's not an adult. He's like 15.
Still.
He's probably older than
That's who
15.
that was.
Maybe.
Because I was wondering, like,
probably
who's this
10
random
in the
kid? I was
Gosh.
just like, oh, that's got to be the kid from Iron Man 3. I'm
For
sure if
second,
you looked
for
it
a
up.
second, the way how close he was to Scarlet Witch, I thought maybe it was
The new Quicksilver. Or
Yeah, I thought it was
something.
Quicksilver for a second. I'm like, is this Quicksilver? I'm like,
Probably.
he kind of looked. I'm like,
Nah.
he kind of looks like the X-Men Quicksilver though.
Yeah. Oh, Peter, whatever. His
Yeah, I don't
name
know the
is.
guy's name, but I'm like,
Evan
he almost
Peters.
looked like. I was like, is this the X-Men Quicksilver?
He does.
That's what I really thought it was.
So when Thanos said, "I'm going to create a new universe," I was thinking, I was like, whoa. Is he going to really accomplish
Earth
this?
616 confirmed.
And create a new universe where we see, like X-Men and the Fantastic Four and stuff?
No.
I gotta say,
Didn't happen. I was just like, whoa.
was a little upset Tony died after like they gave him a daughter. I thought that.
No, that was perfect. Because if he dies with no kids, it's not as deep.
Yeah, but now
Come
she
on.
didn't got a dad. Kind of sucks.
Got a mom though.
Yeah.
But it's Gwyneth Paltrow.
So
I don't know.
what is that supposed to mean?
She
thought he was
kind of a weird mom.
No, I liked it. I liked that they put in the kid. I didn't see that coming
I
at
thought he was
all.
going to survive when they put in the kid.
Oh no! The second that I saw the kid, I was like, they're killing him.
I didn't think.
There's
that.
no way.
I thought that was
Him or Clint.
I
One
thought
of
that
them
was
was
going to
gonna
get
die.
him out of the movie. You know what I mean? Or out of the movies that he's a kid, he's going to retire.
Right.
So I thought I kind of thought for a minute he wasn't really going to help. I'm like, wait, we see him in a white suit later. So I thought then maybe he just gives them the plans, and they was trickery. They photoshopped trickery, tricked us like they did with the Hulk and the Hulkbuster.
So going forward, like with the MCU, what do we like? Do we think it's gonna
Well,
keep the same interest, or the movie's gonna be just as good? I'm honestly kind of concerned.
well, they panned around that ending scene at the cabin, and they kind of showed you like who like is still there and who's around. So they showed the Guardians. They showed like they showed everybody, and then they showed that kid from Iron Man 3. So I'm like, is he important? But then they show Captain Marvel there by herself,
I'm not interested
and
in that
Nick
kid
Fury.
from Iron Man 3.
and so
Yeah, I don't think he's anything.
well, I don't know. I mean, they like kind of showed like, oh, who's still here?
Yeah.
Who's still important? And I felt like that's what that was. You kind of see like Black Panther. And
I thought
Doctor
that was
Strange.
I thought that was closer to look at all the people that Tony's brought.
Yeah, I thought
together.
it was like, hey, look at our,
all these people are connected to Tony.
let's get a
Look
character.
at all this whole
Yeah.
universe.
Look at these characters that we were able to get back together.
Well, they kind of just showed the ones that are, I feel like, going to be the future franchises.
Yeah, I don't know. I
mean, they
I
haven't
don't
done
know.
anything to make him feel like he's.
I
Gonna
don't
be...
know if these next movies are gonna be like, because this is clearly the end, like a hard stop on an amazing story.
Mm-hmm.
Like
We're
where are
going
they
to have
gonna?
to reset.
This is like any show that had a major arc, and after 4 seasons, that major arc ended, and then they got picked up for 2 more seasons, and now they're sitting there with like 1 season long arcs, and nobody cares anymore. I feel like that's what's gonna happen. The movies themselves might be good, but it's like, where are you gonna go from here?
Celestials.
You start a new
the
arc.
Eternals.
I don't
That's
know.
the great thing about
X-Men.
comic books. You can start a whole new great arc now.
Fantastic Four.
Maybe, I don't know. Maybe
And exactly, they now have access to Fantastic Four.
Maybe I just have overload
And that's
from
gonna
these 2 movies because they were just so damn good.
maybe. I mean, Fantastic Four is pretty easy. I don't want to say it's easy making a movie, but they're not hard to explain because remember they just get their powers from an accident in space.
Yeah.
I would say the harder part are the mutants, and kind of my idea was that they weren't going to use time travel to fix everything perfectly. It looks like everything's kind of fixed perfectly to a degree, oddly enough.
That's weird.
What with Endgame?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was pretty clear cut. They didn't change anything except for bring the people back.
Yeah,
Everything.
but like
everything else
the
is
world
the same.
still wasn't in great condition or anything. It's like,
Right.
yeah, but we see them all going back to school. Like,
Not everybody's the same.
Well,
Some
you don't
people
know how
are
long it's
aged.
been.
that's
You can't assume that it's been a day.
You're right.
It could have been.
But still, it's still kind of weird that, like Tyler kind of mentioned, like how old, how long have they been back versus how long they're just not going back to high school again. Like it just seems a little odd.
You can't, but you're literally never gonna have an answer for that because they have to show that scene, and there's no way they're not gonna say like, oh, I mean, they could say like, oh, 1 year later, or, oh, 1 month later.
Well, I mean,
but
did they have to
it's
show
cheesy.
Peter at school? They could have showed him just meeting up with his friend.
Yeah, why
again.
not? Because you got Far From Home coming,
Yeah,
and
I
that's
understand
him
that.
at school with all his friends, so they have to at least prep people for that.
Yeah, so they all must have been dusted.
The people in the school could have been dusted, yeah.
Yeah.
And you also have people who weren't dusted that aren't in his same grade.
It's just for as big as the movie was, it's not a very good explanation.
Well, I feel like the dusted people now can.
I thought it was super simple. I guess we're seeing it different.
It's not that simple.
I
feel.
don't actually think it is that simple either.
Basically, it's the high school. It's the high school. Anybody who wasn't dusted at school. Anybody who.
Well, I just meant the world, not necessarily the high school.
Well, they didn't show the world. They showed a high school and some other stuff.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, whatever. Doesn't matter.
The movie was 3 hours. They're not going to tack on another 20 minutes to show how the world ends up.
Okay.
Right? I mean,
they can explain it in Homecoming too.
yeah, you could do that. I mean, do we even need to vote
No, it's unsinkable.
on this movie?
Oh, I thought it was pretty sinkable.
Yeah?
Yeah.
The first 30 minutes, sinkable.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know.
There's no doubt.
This movie was fantastic. I don't even, I don't really think I even have anything bad to say about it. Honestly. Oh my, okay. One last thing before we get out of here. Tony's scenes when he gets back to Earth at the beginning, dude. Robert Downey Jr. killed that. Those scenes where he's still really skinny and all that. And he's clearly has some major PTSD. I thought he killed those scenes. I was like, damn, okay.
I was kind of being a little bit of an asshole.
Yeah, me too. It's whoa, what the fuck, dude?
Yeah. Once again, at that point in the movie,
Tony,
I'm
Tony Stark was being an asshole. I'm not talking about Tony. I'm talking about Robert himself.
Okay.
The acting ability.
And I thought maybe at that point, oh, hey, he's not going to be in the movie anymore. Captain Iron Man's done now.
Well, he's done now.
He's a little done now.
Okay, anything else that we want to talk about? Nothing?
Unsinkable.
All right, Unsinkable. Rest in peace, Iron Man and Black Widow. All right, see you guys later.